What's going on, guys? Welcome to our podcast, Walking Manifestator. I am your host, Alexa Peña, and in this podcast, I am on one mission and one mission only, and that is going to help you awaken your truest and highest self. Embrace and embody your true power and help you elevate to a completely new consciousness. A transformational journey with the Walking Manifestator you are born to be. Today, we're going to be uncovering why some human needs are really dictating the rest of our life and how they're actually shaping the very foundation that we are building right now. I mentioned on my last episode that I recently got back from a Tony Robbins event and it was amazing. I love how he frames things in such a simple way that helps the person understand what he's getting at. But I also found myself questioning some of the things. And I don't think that it's wrong, actually, when you question certain things. I think that everything that I'm sharing right now is for you to do your own research, for you to see what fits, what doesn't fit. And if there's something that fits, use it. Use it toward your advantage. If there's something that doesn't fit, that is totally okay. But I really found myself in this moment where I was like, there's no way that we only have 6 human needs. Like, there's just no way. So by the end of this episode, I promise you that we're going to understand why logically you might have certainty in your life, which is one of the human needs that he talks about, but you might still self-sabotage. Also, how your manifestations are not failing you, but it's actually your nervous system that is keeping you from reaching that next milestone. And a lot of us might feel like we have everything, right? You might feel like you have some of the things that you were striving for, or maybe some people that are even more blessed that have already acquired the organization that they wanted, the, prestige that they were looking for. But at the end, they still feel empty, and how safety truly is not the same thing as certainty. So I want to start off by really helping you understand this popularized idea that Tony Robbins talks about, which is we have 6 essential needs, okay? And as I mentioned, I have my notes ready to go, so I would love to hear your thoughts. If this is something that resonates with you, follow us on our Instagram account. That's the one that I am primarily focusing on growing and continuing to provide value in. We also have our school community, which we make it a point to post as frequent as possible. Honestly, these past couple of weeks, especially with everything, holidays, business, the boys, I kind of took some time for myself, which was much needed. And it's okay. It's okay to take time for you, but it's about how do you keep pushing yourself further, even in those moments where you might feel like giving up. So I'm going to get very, very vulnerable with you guys like I typically do. Now, the first need he talks about is certainty. Now, certainty comes from you having something secure, right? Something predictable, something that you can actually say, this I can count on. That could be a paycheck. That could be a routine for you, right? Every day, waking up at a certain time, going to work, knowing your coffee is going to be ready, knowing that you're going to have lunch at a certain time, knowing that you're going to get out of work at a certain time, knowing that you can pick up your kids or whatever it is that you have in your life going on at a certain time. So that is certainty, right? And then also when it comes to the familiar relationships that you have in your life, even if they're toxic, these can still provide certainty to you. Now, the next need, which I totally agree with, it's like our creator wanted to throw us a curveball and was like, okay, one of your essential needs is going to be certainty, but also one of your other essential needs is going to be variety, which is uncertainty. So think about it from the perspective of you get into that new relationship. And at the beginning, everything is so new, right? There's so much uncertainty. You have so much novelty where you don't know how this person is going to react to something. You don't know everything about this person. You are so eager to know more about this person, right? But then it comes a point where you get to know this person at a deeper level. And now, if there is no uncertainty because this person has told you everything from, the time that they're going to eat, to the time that they're going to go to bed, to the time that they're doing X, Y, and Z, there is now no variety. And we get bored. Think about it. If I was your partner or your best friend and we did everything together at all times, what new news would we share with each other? There would be no novelty there because we know everything about each other to the point where it's actually boring to get to talk with one another. Now, the next need is significance, and significance is really tied into titles. Significance is really tied into titles. It could be a title of you're a doctor. It could be a validation geared around an accolade that you got. It could be the feeling of being needed or being chosen. Have your pick. You can get significance from different variations, but it's something that is also our human essential needs. Now, as we're going to dive deeper into this, you're going to recognize that the problem becomes when some of these needs are at the top of your list, and I'll dissect it for you in a second. But let's say your next essential need is going to be love and connection. Now, love and connection really can come from deep intimacy, just contributing, right? Maybe you're in a local organization where you're giving some of your time back, you're making an impact somewhere, and you need love, right? You need that person that makes you feel love, or you are showing love to yourself, right? We as humans need love and connection, and anybody that says that's not true, I will fight you on this. No, I'm just kidding. But it's honestly my opinion, and my research that I've done has led me to believe that it's so true. Whenever I have isolated from people, I feel so miserable. And I'm not saying that I need them for me to love myself. That's not what I'm saying, because that is now you creating a codependency. What I am saying though is that we need to understand that love and connection are actually the thing that drives us. Think about it. If I put you on an island and you don't have to earn anything, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to build anything. I put you on this perfect island where everything is done, but you have nobody to share it with. Are you really going to be happy? If you're saying yes, maybe for a year, maybe for 2, but after a while, you're going to feel so unfulfilled because you have nobody to share that emotion with, that joy with. Love and significance are really what drives our mission in life. Now, our fifth need is growth. So we need to feel like we're growing, because without growth, we feel like we're stagnant. We feel like there's really nothing else that is going to take us to the next milestone. And then the last one is contribution, right? Contribution for me means, how are you giving to other people beyond yourself? How are you being of service in this world? How are you impacting somebody else's life? Now, again, contribution is something that a lot of people, myself included at one point, I didn't believe in it because I was in a mindset of scarcity. I was in a mindset of me. But as I've grown, I've recognized how God has blessed me through all of the beautiful people that I've also been able to, in one way or another, inspire. Whether it's the things that I've built that now inspire some of the people that I grew up with to say, wow, if she did it and she was crazy, there is no way that I can do it myself. Or maybe it's that person that you see on the road and you give them $5 because you can. I'm actually doing my very first organization year where we're going to go out to Juarez, Mexico, and we're going to give back to the community. I've always done this, but in a different way. I've never done it to this magnitude, and I'm so excited because I first started with the vision of going and servicing 50 kids, and now it's actually turned into 80. And because I wanted 100, I am just going to donate the rest of the money. And I'm so blessed to be in a position where I can actually say I can afford this and I can do it. So that contribution is really essential when it comes to my overall journey. Okay, so we talked about the contribution aspect of things, but now let's take it further. What is missing here? And why is this something that actually matters? Well, because yes, the 6 essential needs that we just talked about, they are talking about the behavior of us as humans. But for me, at least, it doesn't talk about self-sabotage. And if you know anything about Walking Manifestator, my goal with Walking Manifestator is to equip you with the tools that you have been deprived from, that we have been deprived from, because nobody taught our parents how to be good parents. Nobody taught their parents how to be good parents. And the chain goes on and on and on. And unless you came from a really well put together family, and I mean from all aspects, not just monetary, but psychological, sociological, everything. I don't think that anybody had this like perfect upbringing to where we could say they don't have to improve in any way, shape, or form. So for me, when I talk about Walking Manifestator, it's about helping you remember who you really are. Remember the power that you really hold. Remember how much of a freaking badass you really are. And the way that we do that is by understanding ourselves, by understanding our psychology, by understanding why we do the things that we do. So for me, self-sabotage is a big one in this list. So I want to add to the list, and I'm going to go into number 7. What is the meaning that you're giving to life? Now, when we talk about meaning, for me personally, meaning is not the same as growth or contribution. Yes, you can grow and achieve and give and still feel empty. Meaning, why does my life matter beyond productivity? Without meaning, manifestation feels hollow. And this is really where I love that Tony Robbins did talk about it's the meaning you give to things in life. So I would like to add that as a human need, because if you think about it, I can be having the best day of my life, and let's say somebody cuts me off. And because I'm having, again, it depends on who you are, but because we are so conditioned to want things to be the way that we want them to be or the way that we would react, if that person cuts us off, you have 2 ways that you can react. One of them is going to be, oh, I hope they get to where they're going safely. They must be in a rush if you're having a great day. Or maybe you're having a great day and now all of a sudden you're freaking pissed off. You're cussing them out and you're like, my God, why are people like this? And yada, yada, yada. Right? And it's like, why are you letting that person take your energy? Well, it's the meaning you're giving it because you're taking it personal. You're telling yourself, I can't believe this person had the audacity to do this when they didn't do anything to you. You're the only person that's in control of your reaction is you. So if I don't want to get mad, I can choose to not get mad and I can choose to let it go. But because we've been so conditioned by society to react a certain way and the meaning that we give to things, you're going to take it personal. It's like a guy asking a girl out. If the guy asks a girl out and the girl says no, the guy can give it meaning and say, I'm worthless or she's a fucking bitch, right? Like he could take it to either extreme, or he could choose to say, you know what, maybe she's just in a place in her life where she's not interested in a relationship, but I'm still a stud muffin over here. And I am not going to tie my meaning to this person doing or not reciprocating the love or intention that I had behind me asking her on a date. Or you can take it even further and say, okay, well, it's fine. You know, she's not interested. Maybe she genuinely just doesn't like me. But guess what? There's somebody else out there that is going to like me exactly for who I am and exactly for how I look. So the meaning we tie into things is really what dictates the way that we are going to continue to grow. And this is why I have a bone to pick when it comes to the whole, going and taking a trip to do, whether it's a workshop, whether it's, psychedelics, whether it's an ayahuasca retreat, but then coming back home and not implementing the work. Like coming back home and still being a shit person with the people that love you the most. And I'm not sitting here and acting like I'm perfect because I'm not. I am far from it. I still react, but my way of reacting is so different than from how it used to be. I used to be the type of person that was like, there's a door. If you don't like it, use it. And now my perspective has shifted from how can I understand where you're coming from? Because I'm pretty sure there's something I can learn from this. Now, number 8 is identity, which is tied into authenticity. And no, this is not significance. For those of you that are like, well, identity ties into significance. For me, significance is more of external validation. Identity is more internal. How do you perceive yourself? And for me, when it comes to the biggest difference between them is that being admired is one thing and being yourself is another thing. Like you can admire me for doing this podcast, being a mom, having to work sometimes over 12 hours a day, having situations that are unforeseen, taking care of my grandparents, and you can see me as a badass, right? And that'd be amazing because I appreciate that. But the truth is that it doesn't determine how I feel about myself. How I feel about myself is created for how I feel about me. And this has been a big one because this is actually what leads to people pleasing, the good girl conditioning or the good boy conditioning. And this is really where we suppress who we really are. Whether you're a female listening to this, you're literally suppressing your feminine essence, your feminine goddess. You now get into imposter syndrome. And because of these labels of society, now you don't even know who you are or how you should react to the situation. And it's crazy to me because the more that I continue to grow in this understanding, the more that I recognize that I truly hold the power to how my identity is going to be shaped. If I won right now, I can feel like the worst person in the world because there's already been like 10 things that have happened today that I could have used as an excuse to say I'm not going to record the podcast, which to be honest with you, it's happened in the past. I've had a few slip ups that I wasn't necessarily proud of myself and I could have just been, a bee with myself and been like, oh, well, it's because you always, give up on things. But instead I told myself, you know what? You're not perfect. You're a human and it is okay for you to get back on the horse and be committed. And guess what? 2026 is another year. And guess what? Next Friday, you get to be committed and you get to show up. And next Friday after that, you get to do the same thing. So I could choose to tie my identity, right? My authenticity, my who I amness to what it is that I achieved that day. Or I could simply know that significance, yeah, that's great. I love the accolade. I love the recognition, but it's really not what drives me and my internal thermostat. The simple fact that you are born, like that you're alive right now, is such a blessing within itself that most of us don't even recognize. Truly, like most of us don't even see that being alive is such a unique opportunity. Most of us wake up sometimes and we're like, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to do that. No, babe, you get to. You get to do these things. Like today I was at the gym and I was a little like, I'm so tired. And then like my Alexa 2.0 that comes and kicks my butt every single day. She comes in and she's like, girl, you get to do this. Don't even go there. And I was like, okay, I'll go on. So it is up to you. It really is up to you. Now, number 9 for me is safety. And this is where I want to pause because this is the distinction that most people are missing. Safety is not the same as certainty, okay? I want you to really ponder what I'm saying here. You can have certainty, but not have safety. So logically, you know that something is going to work, right? Like let's say you know that as long as you keep going to your job, you're not going to get fired. And as long as you keep growing, your boss is going to want to continue to promote you. And you can have certainty from the fact that you know that you have a house to go and sleep at. You have, this mindset that you basically believe that you deserve it, right? You're like, yeah, Alexa, I have certainty and this is the kind of stuff that has allowed me to manifest the stuff that I've manifested in my life. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's great. But the thing here is that your nervous system, okay, like your nervous system can still feel unsafe. The difference is that certainty lives in the mind, safety lives in the body. Oh, that is so good. Because certainty is what lives in the mind. Like certainty is all about the mechanical things of life, right? Like, do I have a house? Do I have food? Do I have shelter? Do I have money coming in? Do I have the essentials for me to survive? Do I have love? Do I have contribution? These are all certainty, right? But then if your body doesn't feel safe, now you're going to self-sabotage it. People can literally get the opportunity that they were praying for and sabotage it. People can literally manifest the money that they've been praying for and literally immediately lose it. Or people can attract the love that they've been praying for and push it away. And this is why I really love what I teach, because it's allowed me to understand the difference. Like, if there's something in my body that doesn't feel quite right about that person, I used to be very quick to be like, oh, it's maybe just myself. I'm, projecting onto this person, and it's probably not about them. It's all about me. And that was in my mind, right? But I do believe that God has given us this additional sense of reality that allows us to see beyond the veil, that allows us to actually recognize, there's something fishy about that person. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I just don't feel safe with that person. Especially me in real estate industry, I have a lot of guys, and I don't say this from like toot my horn, but I mean it. Like, I have a lot of guys that try to hit on me, and I can see the difference between the guys that are like genuinely like interested, like trying to get to know me, and the guys that are like genuinely thinking they're gonna have fun with me. And I'm like, you really don't know me. And I just think that there's something underlying within you that you can also perceive about people, that you can also feel about people. And this comes to your manifestations as well. Because even though you might be doing all the right things, and you might be, going to the workshops and doing, your meditations and eating the healthy food, if internally you haven't done the work to understand why you believe the things that you believe, you're always going to continue to sabotage. And I heard this one thing that I really liked, which is, if you're going to blame people for all of the bad in your life, you need to blame them for all of the good in your life. And I love that. I really do, because there's a lot of things in my life that I rather sometimes, forget about. And I'm like, well, I don't want to think about that. I don't want that, psyche to kick my 2.0 Alexa's butt. But then I remember, you know what? If things would have been different, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. So this is really where we're going deeper into that difference, right? Now, also, how this ties directly into your manifestation is that you cannot manifest something when your body doesn't feel safe to hold it. Okay? I really want you to understand that. Is it safe for you to be seen? Maybe you're trying to make videos on TikTok and your account is not getting the views that you want. And because you want significance, you forget the whole reason why you're making these videos is to share a message. And now you start talking from the brain versus talking from the heart. When you talk from the heart, people just connect. Like right now, I have my bullet points of the conversation that I want to make sure I focus on, but then the rest of it, it's like winged. I wing it. That's me. I don't want for you guys to feel like, oh, she's reading off a script. Oh, she's trying to be perfect. No, I want you guys to connect with me and what I'm saying, because my hope in this podcast is to share something with you that's going to spot a aha moment, right? It's going to be that hidden gem that you're like, oh, I already knew that. Thank you for confirming that, right? Maybe is it that you feel safe to receive, right? Maybe you're so focused on that next promotion and you're like, Alexa, I really want to get that promotion. And you know what? I've really been hoping and praying that my business takes off, but it's just not. It's just not. It's like, well, do you really feel comfortable receiving that blessing? Because if you don't, and maybe you're afraid of being seen subconsciously, you don't realize it, right? For me, I've talked about it. People pleasing has been a big one in my life. And I'm getting so lethal with this, like to the point where some of my clients have asked me if I'm okay. And I'm like, yeah, no, like I'm good. Like I'm good. I just don't have to smile and like all the time for me to make you feel good about yourself. Like I don't. And it's something that it's taken me such a long time to really recognize within myself, because I care about people. Like I truly care about people. Whenever I look at somebody, I think about their story. I think about where they came from. Maybe you don't. Your mind doesn't think about all these things. My mind is constantly doing this to me, and it's a blessing and a curse, because sometimes I want to be lethal with somebody and I can't, because I'm like, oh, well, maybe their programming, maybe the way that they were raised, maybe this and that. And it just really changes my paradigm in that moment. And it's actually cost me a lot. So now I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's okay. If that person doesn't like me, they don't like me. And I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to be for everybody. Just like you're not going to be for everybody. But guess what? When you start speaking from the heart, those people that are actually happy that you're sharing the things that they wish they could share, they're going to be rooting for you. Whether it's you're starting a new company in something that maybe is a little controversial, maybe you're saying something that's a little controversial, you're not going to get anywhere by people pleasing. Now, also, success, right? Do you feel like it's safe to create success? Because let's say you really want to have success in your life, but you're afraid of failing. How in the world are you going to succeed if you don't fall like 10,000 times before you actually succeed? Now, unless you have this like coach that's coaching you through everything at every second of the day, telling you exactly what you need to do so that you avoid all the pitfalls, you're going to fail. And even if you had that coach, at one point you're going to fail, because if that coach dies, you didn't learn any actual skills that were worth you continuing to embody in your life, because now this person was actually tied to your identity. Now, the next part here that is very important is the deeper needs that we need to really understand, which is, yes, transcendence is also one of these needs. Connection to God and to this like mystical consciousness, right? Because for me, it's not about religion. It's not about performing. It's about knowing that I am part of something greater. This is one of my human needs at the core. I don't pray for things. I don't say, God, please allow me to have more abundance. I just know that because I am the daughter of the creator of this world, I have the right to manifest anything that I want in my reality. And when you can understand that and you can really implement that into your life, everything is going to change, because now you're not asking for permission. You just know that God has already given you permission to create whatever you want because you are here in this world. Now, the 11th one is integration, which for me is embodiment, your wholeness. Now, yes, it's great for you to eat the vegan food, and it's great for you to work out. It's great for you to ensure that you're learning more stuff and getting more accolades, all cool. But how are you embodying it? Mind, body, and soul. Masculine and feminine. Devotion and surrender. So for me, I used to use the word discipline a lot. And now I've changed it to say devotion. Because I can be very disciplined about something, but then I can feel very burned out by it. But when I remind myself of why I'm doing the thing that I'm doing, which for me, I believe in soul contracts. I believe that God literally gave us the opportunity to choose everything we were going to experience, from the good to the bad to the ugly. And from that experience that we're choosing to live in this planet, we get to learn and basically get prepared for the next level. That's what I believe in. Whatever you believe in that tickles your boat, that's amazing. This is what tickles mine. And I love thinking that if my mission in this life is just to continue to grow, like grow the most that I can and serve the most that I can, then I know that I am going to be devoted to doing the thing. It's not about hitting 6 figures every single month. It's not about making $1 million every single month only, although those things are on my bucket list, don't get me wrong. But it's now further than that. It's further, and it's actually what allows me to keep going in the moments that I feel like giving up. There's been a few times that I wanted to give up on Walking Manifestator because I was like, no, it's taking too much time. I could just focus on real estate. I could be crushing it in real estate even further, because honestly, I'm a badass in real estate. I am. I've worked my butt off, and I'm working my butt off even more to learn more. I have some more things in the works, and it's something that really drives me because I love helping people create this like sense of accomplishment, the American dream that most people dream of. I remember when I was 18 and I bought my first house, it was such a big achievement for me that now I want everybody else to experience that, because some of us that don't grow up with trust funds, we create legacies through different ways, through different avenues. And for me, real estate is one of those tangible things that you can actually do that in. And why I share this with you is because this is really where the integration of devotion is going to take you further, but also surrendering and knowing that it's okay, whatever happens, because God has this amazing plan for us that we don't even comprehend right now. We don't even understand this plan, but yet there's going to be a moment in life that we're going to look back and be like, wow, you had something even better that I could have even imagined. And the last thing is self-authority, which is your sovereignty. This is the ability to trust yourself. This is where you decide that you don't need permission. This is where you really lead from your divine inner authority. Without sovereignty, you are always outsourcing your power to somebody else. Whether it's to listening to, self-help books, whether it's to your boss, whether it's to your husband, whether it's to your kids, whatever. You are literally releasing and looking for something external to make you feel whole. For me, when you're chasing validation, when you are abandoning your intuition, these are the things that are actually keeping you from sovereignty, which for me, that is an essential need. That is an essential need on my book, because if I don't have that thing that is helping me understand that I have this divinity within me, like I said earlier, that is guiding me at all times of the day, from the words that I'm speaking right now, to the things that I'm creating, to the expression of my voice, and the way that I carry myself with my voice. That is literally the divinity, that sovereignty that I am allowing God to speak through me. And why people keep manifesting the same life, it's because they're repeating their patterns. And I really want you to focus on that. Why are you going to, let's say, leave that relationship, right? Let's use relationships because we've all been in relationships. Why are you going to get divorced with your wife if you haven't fixed the problem that caused the problem? So I'm not saying stay in an unhappy marriage. That's not what I'm saying. You know that I've been vulnerable with you guys. I've been married once, and now I'm being very cautious with who it is that I am going to choose to live the rest of my life with, because that is going to be my person. Like, I want my person to be my best friend. I want my person to be my rock, to be the person that's there for me and I'm there for them. And there's a lot of, items that I have on my little list there. But for me, when you're in a relationship with somebody, and let's say in this example I'm talking about with a married couple, and let's say you think that they're the problem. You don't recognize what you played in this mix, how you also caused certain things or triggered certain reactions, or the way that you behaved. Well, when you don't recognize that, what's going to happen is that you're literally going to manifest the exact same thing in your next situation, in your next marriage, in your next relationship, whatever it is. So I really want you to understand that this is so important in order for you to stop creating the same patterns. Certainty without safety is going to equal to burnout. Growth without meaning is equivalent to emptiness. Significance without identity is going to equal exhaustion. Love without sovereignty is just going to be attachment. And manifestation without nervous system safety is just going to equal self-sabotage. So your life, my friend, is not blocked. Your desires are not wrong. Your manifestations aren't delayed. Your system is simply protecting you from what it hasn't learned to hold yet. And that does not mean you're broken. It just means that there is something waiting for you to remember how to integrate it into your life. And I just want to close with an affirmation. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to remind yourself of these words. I want you to repeat after me. I choose alignment over forcing things. I allow my body to feel safe receiving what my soul desires. I trust the intelligence within me. I am supported. I am guided. I am grounded. I am divinely protected. And I am ready to hold the life that has been designed for me. Thank you so much for listening, to those of you that have been continuing to support. I see you guys, and I just want to say I love you so much. I hope these little snippets of motivation help you, but not just help you from the perspective of go, rah, 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 but from the perspective of understanding yourself deeper, because my friend, you deserve that and more. I will talk to you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching yet another episode of Walking Manifestator. And with that being said, I want to remind you, visualize, embody, and transcend. Be the walking manifestator you are born to be.